Hey guys, still Sunday morning. I wanted to kind of continue my Sunday morning video. The camera went off. I think my phone space, like the memory space for my phone, ran out because it wasn't the battery. But I was talking about remote neural monitoring. I was sitting in a movie, uh, that that Cloverfield movie, which is really good. I mean, it's intense. So as a target individual, it's like I would enjoy those movies. Like it's an intense, kind of scary movie, with a lot of it's really like you're on the edge of your seat the whole time. And those movies, it gives me a feeling of tension that I wouldn't get if I wasn't a target individual, you know. But it was still a great movie, you know. I would enjoy those things more, like horror movies and thrillers. If I wasn't going through this, because it's like the post traumatic stress that we feel kind of funnels into stuff like that. You see something, or and then it kind of brings you to what you're experiencing. So I enjoy them and I try and get it out of my mind. But my point was, like, through the movie, they're remote neural monitoring me. And so the imagery in my visual cortex, instead of just looking at something like I used to do before I started getting tortured, or getting really tortured bad with active remote neural monitoring, synthetic telepathy, and images basically either being pushed back or new images being pushed in to my visual cortex, just frequencies being pushed in. You just watch a movie, and you're, as a human being, you're looking at, because I went to film school, so I'm like looking at the camera, the camera angles. I'm looking at the shadow that the director used, the lighting, and so I'm thinking about all those things, and I'm very focused on what's going on. I'm not relating those things to anything. But as I've started to go through this, like, it seems like everything kind of gets directed back to this, where I'm like, because I hear the V2K and everything like that. So what I'm doing gets kind of like shunted into where I have to think about this, or think about something that's happened along the way in my torture, which I don't like, because before this it was like you focus on something and you're just focusing on it, and your visual cortex is completely focused on what's in front of you, which I really don't like. It's that keeping your focus off, and when they can do that, then they can hurt you more. Um, I really don't enjoy that at all. Uh, there is a state police. No, that's a city police car right there. And I like kind of sitting here because it's a hub. And I know this isn't true, so I'm just going to have my little fantasy here. But I was like, yeah, if I sit here, they're going to spend their money, and the people vehicular stalking, they'll group them up here on me, and at least maybe somebody, like a young girl who they're targeting in my city, or a grandmother, can go to church in peace, and, they'll be focusing on me. But there's so many of these, vehicular stalkers and, street stalkers and stuff, that I don't think that makes a difference. I think they have people for me and people for any other target individual in the city. I mean, I think they work in conjunction on all of us. But well, it's a nice thought. It's just like the thought, like, you know, I don't know if I want to go into that, because I'll geek out. I'm gonna geek out. Okay, I'm gonna geek out, guys. In Winter Soldier, like, Bucky's completely mind controlled, and Captain America's fighting him and stuff like that. But it's like he wants to get him back because he knows it's not Bucky. And sometimes, like, and I know this isn't true, because my main organizer likes this stuff. I mean, he's made a choice to. He's on their side. He's on the side of this program. He's not like somebody who could come back, who's like, being mind controlled and just doing evil stuff. Even if he did, like, if he was like that, like, if well, let me finish that thought before I go on to another thought. bear with me here, guys. Even if he was like that, like if he came back and he's like, "What have I done?" And he had been some kind of how indoctrinated and just lost himself, and I would support him. Like, I really would, because we need those people. And the thing, support him. I would be like, okay, you're back. You're not torturing people. I would move forward like that. I would move forward like, okay, let's deal with this, or because you're not hitting me, then I can work better. Um, I would hope for that, and sometimes I have that little fantasy, and I know immediately that it's not true. But maybe I think, and this is more geeking out, like I think there are a lot of Buckies out there, maybe, that if they do realize what they're doing, maybe. God, I know y'all probably disagree with me, so please comment on this. Let's have discourse about this. But like, I mean, especially with the vehicular stalkers, they don't know what they're doing, and I think they will eventually end up on our side. Most of them, the majority of them. Some of them do. Some of them do know, and they like it. Um, I hold out hope that maybe some of these microwavers are just totally like, this is just how it is, and then something will happen and they'll snap out of it, and help us, and comment on my naivety. You just got, I mean, I just know that I have to keep hope. Like, I mean, since I was a boy and had Crohn's since I was 10, if you don't have hope and you don't believe in the impossible, we just can't do it. We won't be able to do it. We're gonna have to kind of take a playbook from these people, a page out of their playbook, how they're creating a reality. They're lying about us, but we can't lie. But we have to, propagandize the truth. We have to, believe in the impossible, that some of these people, will end up on our side. And even if it's like, some of these people who are hardcore involved in it, maybe they'll change their ways. And please comment on that. That's my naivety. I want to hope all throughout this. Like, I saw, we went to see that movie, and we saw a Star Trek preview before that, and I've never gotten, like, sometimes I get real big goosebumps when I'm going through this, because it's a war, and you just hear stuff that's like, boom. And it's Spock in that new Star Trek movie, and somebody's like telling him it's impossible, and he goes, "We will find hope in the impossible." And I just, like, my whole body, my spine, just everything, I got goosebumps, and I was like, yeah, we'll find hope in the impossible. That's just how, it's so much pain, and it's all the time, and it's like, I know we don't want it for our lives, but it's like we're here, and we've got to find hope somehow. And you just know it by probability that some of these people involved, and I don't know about the people microwaving people. They may be already too far gone where, they could never help us at all. But definitely with the vehicular stalkers, the street stalkers, I hold out hope that they'll kind of shake their heads and they'll be like, what am I doing? And I know a lot of people have different theories about that even they're being kind of mind controlled and stuff like that. That they don't even know what they're doing sometimes when they're attacking us. I don't know if I don't think the technology has reached that point yet, and please comment on that. I think that it's an interweb of people who think that they're fighting terrorism. I think there's a lot of mind control to us, and maybe even the people microwaving, indoctrination. And I was thinking one time my main my main organizer, somebody could be in a place, synthetically telepathy, putting synthetic telepathy into him. It could be a lot more complicated, where certain people are being mind controlled, where it's just this big, huge chain of mind control, to get us against each other, to get us, in this torture war. I usually call it a coward's war. That's what I called it a couple months ago. I told my attackers that it's a coward's war because they have to hide in the shadows. They know it's wrong because they're hiding in the shadows. And they're just torturing people while they sleep or while they sit or while they drive. So it's not a war where we're even allowed to fight in the right ways. We're not allowed to defend our bodies by, defending, like somebody's coming at you with a gun or knife, and there's the city police right there. So it's more of a coward's war. They're cowards, but we have to actually really fight with our bodies, with information. Y'all tell me what y'all think, about my thoughts. These are all just their theories. The facts of it are there's a DHS Fusion Center program with vehicular stalking. They call it patrolling. InfraGard working with FBI, and they participate in the stalking. And that we are being hit with remote directed energy weapons. There's remote neural monitoring. They can view what's going on inside of our visual cortex. That's a fact for me. I know it because the V2K responds to that. I'm not sure about brain mapping or mapping memories. I'm not too sure about that. I guess they can memory mine while you're sleeping. I've heard about that, and some smart people have talked about that. So, I wish that this thing was seeking out justice somehow, because if they were memory mining or looking into my mind and stuff like that, which they are, they do view my visual cortex, they'd be able to tell that, I'm an innocent person. I'm not a dangerous person, but they're trying to hurt me so much and torture me so that then I'll have negative thoughts or negative reactions, and then they false flag. So it's a big false flag. So I wish they were looking for some kind of justice, because then it would be terrible and unconstitutional and against humanity. But if they were trying to seek out justice, and somehow it would be more, we'd be able to deal with it better. We'd be able to show people that that's not happening. But that's not even what they're going for, and I know that for a fact. They're not going for justice here. They're going for something weird, for something really bizarre. Some people are. Some of these vehicular stalkers, I've seen older vets, and I've checked out the DHS Fusion Centers, like the job offerings, and it's like, have an adventure, after your retirement, you can still do good for your country. And so some of these older vets, they don't have anything to do, and they're like, okay, well, this is a new thing. We'll patrol people who might be terrorists. They're watching Fox News and seeing how ISIS is, in America and stuff like that. I'm not even going to get into that and what I think about that. But, some of these people really do. They do think they're doing the right thing. They don't know about the microwaves. They think they're patrolling and helping out their communities. So it's very confusing, and maybe that's why I babble so much about it. Maybe that's why we all babble so much about it, because it's a very confusing thing, especially from the other side when you're you're kind of dealing with it all. But I hope you guys are doing okay. I just had to do something this morning. I was going to do something yesterday. I was I was driving around the city, and I wasn't taking, a lot of vehicular stalking video. I've been doing a lot of them. I guess I should just keep doing it, because it's happening all around me, and I can just get it on video. Targeted individuals will see it. Y'all comment on if you think those videos are helping or not. I'm going to do what I'm going to do either way, whatever anybody comments. But please comment and discourse about it, because I will discourse about it with you. But the things that in my life, the times, and I want to add this in, I guess. When I talk to a targeted individual and somebody tells me, hey, this may not be good, you may want to try this. That's good discourse. I like it. It helps my life. We help each other. Whenever I acquiesce over to a non-target individual, I'm not going to say like my parents don't care. They care a lot about me. They help me a lot. My roommate, cares about me a lot.